When I first started working on river stories, comics and graphic novels were completely an unknown thing. Nobody knew what they were. And when I made river stories, people were really curious, and most people didn't connect with it. There's like, this is comics are for kids. So what is this that you've done? What, it's a serious story and it's in black and white, so it's not even in color. So from that point where nobody in the media or in the publishing world, or except for a few kind of a small collective of people perhaps who are into comics and graphic novels, nobody knew about this medium. But today it's a very, very different story because there's so many young practitioners. I run a magazine called Comic Sense, and I feature the work of a lot of interesting young comics makers, writers, artists. And we've had, Indian comics and graphic novels getting published by mainstream publishers, big publishers like Penguin or HarperCollins. And over the years, so it's like 25 years since I made River Stories. It's been a huge, huge shift. So that's very encouraging and very interesting for me because I've seen that whole sort of a transition over the years. What I find really exciting now is this sort of new movement. I could call it a movement, which is this whole indie comics festival, which have started to come up in Bangalore, Bombay. There was even one in Goa, in Delhi. In fact, I'm going in a couple of weeks now to be part of the Indie Comics Fest in Delhi. It's totally a festival that promotes independent comic making, young artists, young practitioners telling their own kinds of stories. There's a lot of diversity of stuff people are doing, short form, longer form, using the medium, using it very, very flexibly, pushing it into new directions. So I think this bodes well for the future of Indian comics, that we have so many young people not only reading and buying comics but also creating their own comics. And it's a very collaborative, comics is a medium that encourages collaboration because it involves elements of painting, literature, cinema. It brings in all these forms into its gambit. So I think comics naturally encourages collaboration, and the kind of collaborative work we're seeing now is something very hopeful and very nice. I look forward to more of that.